talented Kim. We'll walk you through a 30-minute practice. We're so happy to be here and still in your life to some capacity at USMMA. Let's begin. Lie onto your backs. Bend your knees and set your feet down onto the floor. Widen your feet towards the outer edges of your mat, and then set your knees together in the center. Take a generous breath in, and then exhale, sigh out completely. Good. Literally feel for following your breath in through your nose, down through your throat, and allowing it to fill up the front, the back, and the sides of the cylinder of your torso. And then sigh it out completely. Do that many more times. And if it feels comfortable, close your eyes and allow them to soften into their sockets. Continue to breathe in that incredibly centering and enriching way. And just know that anytime you come to your mat, whether it's with a community or in your own space, it gives your body this charge and resets it and refreshes it on a multitude of levels. It accumulates in our bodies as positivity, causing us to be more resilient and courageous and kind. And it creates the conditions for all that is not that to fall away, to dissolve. So may this practice cause you to be this example of steadiness and fortitude, having an incredible resilience throughout this time. Remember that you are supported, you are cared for, you're loved, and we are so happy to give you this offering, this time. Start to rock your knees from side to side, coming out to the big toe side of the foot and then the baby toe side of the foot. You can keep your feet right where they are on the mat. So drop your knees, both knees to the right, and then drop them both to the left. And just keep moving from side to side to create some nice circulation within the lower rooms of your home, your lower body. That space in your body is related to your stability and your ability to hold your ground, to stand your ground no matter what the context of the moment. So we'll really fortify the lower body today to allow you to feel more grounded, more anchored, no matter what. Draw your knees now into your chest and continue to rock from side to side. And do that in a way that massages the entire sacral plate. And you can make circles in each direction as well. Just to get a good feel for what's going on in the lower back, in the area of the kidneys and the sacral plate. You can even circle around your ankles in both directions to lubricate your ankle joints, to literally feel your feet. So good. Drop your knees to the right side of the room. Spinal twist. Exhale out completely. Feel for breathing into the front, the back, and the sides of the entire cylinder of your torso. Sighing out completely. And feeling the relief of your exhales. Allow that to give you a sense of relief and trust. 2 more breaths. Raise your knees now back up to center and drop them in the other direction. And same thing, breathe deep. And a sweet mantra to interject into your practice is just this moment, just this breath. Let that give you a sense of centeredness and calm and trust that all other moments will care for themselves. But all you need to do is just be here right now in the midst of this breath and into your body. As you ready it for anything and everything, take another generous breath in. Raise your knees back up to center, bend your knees and set your feet down on the floor, or down on the floor. Weave your fingers now behind your head. And open your elbows out nice and wide while your head is resting down onto the floor. Take a fulfilling inhale. And as you exhale, feel for and imagine pressing your elbows into the earth, almost like you want to create this indentation into the floor. You'll start to feel the area between your shoulder blades start to light up. Relax your neck. Take another breath in. And as you exhale, feel for a gentle corset of the waist inward without trying to flatten out your spinal curves. Take a couple breaths in with those actions set in place. It's so good for your posture, especially if you're at home and you're going to be on your computers a lot. This is such a wonderful way to harmonize that, to balance that forward kind of hunching that we tend to do. One more deep breath in. And exhale out. Beautiful breath. Raise your elbows skyward now, switching it up. Look up like you have an apple between your chin and chest. Breathe in, raise your shoulders up off the floor. And keep looking up and allow your head to just relax into your fingers like a ball would just soften into its mitt. And then little pulses up and down. And like it is when you are in class with your community, the same as there at home. The days that you need to do less, honor that, and you're so free to. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Set your shoulders down, relax for a moment, and take a feeling breath in. And an emptying breath out. Do that again. In a sense, return to your senses, your sense of touch, sensation, your feet against the mat beneath you. Elbow to knee. Raise your elbows back skyward. Lift your feet up off the floor. Knees are bent down towards your seat. Inhale, raise your shoulders up. As you exhale, bring your right lung, right elbow towards left knee and straighten right leg towards the front of the room at a 45-degree angle. Breathe in, come back to center with both elbows, both knees, pause. Exhale, twist to the other direction. Beautiful. Breathe in, come back to center, pause. Exhale, twist in the other direction. Breathe in, come back to center. Exhale and twist. Breathe in back to center. Exhale and then twist. Now skip the middle piece. Just move side to side, back and forth, and keep going. And aim to get both shoulder blades to lift off the floor. And Kim is doing this gorgeously. Feel for flexing your feet and wanting to stamp something with your footprint. So there's this gorgeous charge through your legs, your foundation. Your legs are like your root system, related to your deepest depths. Your capacity to put your best foot forward, to hold your ground. If you can, keep going for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come back to center. Rest for a moment, take a feeling breath into all the areas you just lit up and sparked up, fortifying your vital organs. Switch the weave behind your head. So weave your fingers the non-habitual weave. Raise your right leg skyward. Option, keep your knee bent, foot flat on the floor, or straighten your leg towards the front of the room at about a 45-degree angle. Flexing the feet, again, increasing that charge through the lower body. Aim your elbows skyward, raise your shoulder blades up, and then little pulses once again. What's beautiful is that when we begin our practice becoming more physiologically centered like this, by default it causes us to become more energetically and mentally centered as well. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Draw the knees into the chest. Take a generous breath in. And an emptying breath out. And switch sides. Know that you have your options. Raise your left leg up. Straighten your other leg towards the front of your room. And begin. Raise the shoulders up and then little pulses as you fortify your center, as you fortify your vital organs. And the whole health of our body really depends on the health of our organs. So in your yoga practice, you amplify their health. You give them this sweet massage and increase the currency moving through. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Draw the knees into the chest. Take a rich cycle of breath. Start to rock and roll up and back on your mat, maybe like 3, 4 times. If that doesn't feel good for the back, just simply roll over to one side. And once you're done rocking and rolling, come onto your hands and knees. Spin your fingertips to face towards one another and touch your middle fingers together. Then re-spin your fingertips back forward and know that you've measured your shoulder width distance apart there. Set your knees right underneath your hips and then your ankles right in line with your knees. Cat-cow tilts. Lead the movement with your pelvis. Inhale, round your spine and tuck your chin. And then exhale, gently arc and look out. And keep going. Breathe in, gently round your spine and tuck your chin. Beautiful. Exhale, gently arc and look up. And keep going. Feel for plugging in through the front of the ankles. Feel for plugging in through the top side of the foot, the toenail side of the foot, from baby toe side to big toe side. Feel for plugging in through the kneecap so you get this kind of plug in its socket, this extra charge, this contact with the lower rooms of your home, your foundation. It may cause you to feel more resilient, more steady, more grounded. Twice more. And now come back to center. Take your fingers, lift your arm up, swivel your arm bone around, and spin your fingers to face towards your kneecaps. Switching the cat-cow here. Inhale, gently arc your back and look up. Exhale, press into the earth. Inhale. Keep going, keep breathing. And know that this also harmonizes all of that forward reaching that we do, all that computer usage. Now we're probably going to be wiping off countertops all the time, so this is going to move the arm bone at the shoulder and the wrist in a way that's really going to harmonize those movements. And then flushing all the nodes and nodules underneath the collarbones, boosting our immunity, heightening our health. One more cycle. So good. Come back to center. Swivel the arm bones back around and sit back into your child's pose position. Big toes come to touch, knees widen out, forehead comes down to the earth. Exhale completely. And take a couple cycles of breath. Allowing the breath to be full of the qualities of refreshment. Each breath is creating within your body, within your home, this fresh ventilation. And it's so sweet to be in a well-ventilated space. Know that child's pose is shape you can come to any time, this or any other restorative pose. Downward facing dog now. Curl your toes. Raise your hips and allow your sits bones, your tailbone, to be the highest point, the pinnacle of this triangle. And that will gorgeously organize the kidneys and open the sacral plate in this wonderful way so the currents can stream through where they need to go. Have a soft bend in the knees. The heels are high. Feel for plugging in through the balls of the foot, from big toe side to baby toe side of the foot, as those little pressure points correlate with various systems within the body, heightening them, harmonizing them. 2 more breaths. So beautiful. Such a beautiful line from the wrists, the shoulders, all the way up to the sits bones, that beautiful crescendo. Such buoyancy in the body. Breathe in. Come to the front of your mat, set up for ragdoll position, but measure your feet. This again is using your own geometry, and you fit yourself. You don't fit anybody else, you don't fit any ideal, but you do fit yourself. So taking your feet 2 fists width distance, measuring at the arch, we'll set your heels 2 bum bones width apart, your bum bones width apart, and then grab opposite hand to opposite elbow. And soften the knees, same thing here. The sits bones go up, the tailbone goes up. And you can see right here just the beautiful geometry of the body, how our armpits and our kneecaps are so plugged in, they're so aligned. It's so beautiful. Take a generous breath in, plug in through the mound beneath your baby toe. Use your imagination to create this X marks the spot all the way back to the inner heel of the foot. Plug in there. Breathe in, plug into the mound beneath each big toe. And imagine that X marks the spot all the way to the outer of each heel. Keep those plugged in, those points plugged in. And slowly begin to rise. Stand tall and reaching with your arms towards the ceiling. And then set your hands to your heart space. Close your eyes for a moment. May you feel strong and steady. May you be able to know where you stand and hold your ground in any given moment, no matter the context. May you recognize that your lower body is so strong. Your legs are your pillars of stability and strength. Take another breath in to really drop into your foundation, allowing you to feel more grounded. Because what we do in the body, we're doing in the mind. The body is the mind, and the mind is the body. Breathe in, raise your arms up, plugging in but feeling for the rise. Exhale, fold and empty forward, chest comes down to thighs. Halfway lift, scoop your chest forward and up, bum bones back and up. Hands to the earth, step back, high push up. Pause for a moment in your high push up. Feel for squeezing your legs. Feel for squeezing your glutes and brace your core. This is beautiful. Her head's right over her shoulders, so she literally has a good head on her shoulders there. Breathe in. And then descend all the way down to the floor. Come into low cobra and hover the hands. Tops of the feet plug into the floor. Gently arcing forward and up. And even feel for having the baby soft spot at the crown of your head moving towards the front of the room. Take another breath in. Downward facing dog. Curl your toes. And again, allow the bum bones, the sits bones, to be the pinnacle of the triangle. 2 breaths here. One more enriching inhale. Walk or float to the front of your mat. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold and empty. Stand up, reach for the sky, reach for the sun. Hands to your heart space. Breathe in, raise your arms skyward. Exhale, pour forward, chest to thighs, stay plugged in through the feet. Come into your halfway lift, scoop your chest forward, bum bones back and up. Hands to the floor, high below push up. Flow with a reverence into your low cobra with the hands covered, or if you want to take another variation, you're welcome to. Upward dog, sphinx, what's going to rebuild your home. Downward facing dog, hips rise. A voluminous in-breath, welcome it in. And an emptying out-breath. Take one more that refreshes you on multitudes of levels. Walk or float to the front of your mat. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Stand tall, reach for the sky. So you're plugged in, but there's also a rise in the body. Hands to your heart space. Chair pose. Sit back in your imaginary chair, raise your arms skyward. There's a trick here to utilize your own geometry. You can bring your palms to your kneecaps, plugging your kneecaps right into the palms and straighten the arms. Bum bones go back, sternum forward, look to the horizon. Then once you re-raise your arms, you know that you're sitting in the Utkatasana really well, gorgeously and healthily into the joints and the folds. So beautiful. Take 2 more empowering breaths as you really build the heat in your lower body. Creating a sense of strong physiological structure, and may that default into all other facets of our experience. Pour forward, chest to thighs. Halfway lift, scoop your chest, brace your core. Hands to the floor, high to low push-up. Float with good care to low cobra or another variation. Strong legs. Downward facing dog, raise your hips. Raise your right leg towards the sky. And here, feel for fanning your toes. And go ahead and circle your ankle around in both directions. Perfect. Now in the other direction, so good. Take another generous breath in. And come on into high push-up. Just draw the knee right into the center of the chest. Pause for a moment. Know that you can modify this as needed. But here, take a moment to breathe and acknowledge your strength, your power. All that you've got through up until this point, all that you will continue to get through with a sense of hope, strength, and empowerment. Breathe in. Downward facing dog. This cycle, go ahead and raise your right leg up. Step your right foot forward, come into kneeling lunge. Drop your left knee to the ground. Raise your torso, lift your arms. Feel for plugging into the back foot, especially through the baby toe side of the foot. That's going to protect your knee joint. Use your imagination to understand your hips in space. Feel for your right hip moving over to east. That little arrow to east. Imagine your left hip moving over to that arrow to west. Your pubic bone is forward. Your tailbone is back at north, south. Pubic bone to north, tailbone to south. Take a breath in. Feel for rising through the crown of the head. Hands to the earth, downward facing dog. Breathe in, raise your left leg up. Circle your ankle in each direction. Whoops. And then in the other direction. So good. Such good contact with the lower body there. Beautiful. Breathe in. And then come into your high push-up and draw the knee right into the center of the chest. If you feel a lot of pressure in your shoulders or your wrists, that might be a symptom that you're putting too much of it in your upper body. Strengthen your lower body, your center, put more of it there. Breathe and acknowledge your strength, your resilience, your power. Downward facing dog. Lift your leg up for a moment. And then step forward, come into your kneeling lunge. Set your back foot down, back knee down. Raise your torso, lift your arms. And you can even raise your arms like you're reaching something really high up overhead. That will help to flush the lower lungs, and it's okay for your shoulder blades to lift. That's how the shoulders work. Feel for your left hip moving to that arrow to west, and your right hip moving to that arrow to east. So good. Navel, sternum, crown of the head forward and up. Breathe in richly. Hands to the earth, downward facing dog. Step your right foot forward, come into your warrior one. Spin your back foot flat on a 45-degree angle. Raise your torso, lift your arms. Amazing. Imagine that your hips are buoyed up up on your leg bones like a buoy would just rest on a calm and serene lake. So that there's strength, but there's also a sense of calm and space so that the currents can really move well through the pelvis. And that's beautiful. There's so much strength and there's so much space within the shape. Take one more deep breath. Hands to the earth, downward facing dog. Step your left foot forward, come into your warrior one. Breathe in, raise your torso, lift your arms. Set your gaze. 3 breaths. And just drop in to sensation. Beautiful. Feel for plugging into the mount beneath big toe, the mount beneath baby toe, imagining that X marks the spot so you get really plugged in, really grounded. But you're plugging in, but there's also this rise, this upliftment in the body. Set your hands to the earth, high to low push-up. Float with good care into low cobra or another variation. Downward facing dog, hips rise. A generous breath, breathe right into your spinal cord. May those currents stream clear. Beautiful, one more. Walk or float to the front of your mat. Halfway lift, deep breath in. Exhale, fold and empty. Stand tall, reach for the sky, reach for that sun, soak it in. Hands to your heart space. Breathe in, arms rise up. Exhale, pour forward, chest to thighs. Halfway lift, scoop chest forward and up. High and low, push up, exhale. Flow with reverence into a cobra or another variation that rebuilds your home. Downward facing dog, hips rise. Step your right foot forward, come into warrior one. Hold your ground so strong, breathe in, receive the enrichment. Hands to the earth, downward facing dog. Step your left foot forward, come into warrior one, stirring things up, improving your inner currency, your inner charge and resilience. Hands to the earth, high to low push up. Float with reverence, low cobra or another variation. Downward facing dog, raise your hips. A fulfilling breath in. And what can you breathe out on the exhale? What can you let go of? Breathe in once more. Walk or jump to the front of your mat. Halfway lift, scoop your chest. Exhale, fold. Stand up, reach high. Plug in, but also rise. Hands to your heart space. Breathe in, Utkatasana, sit into your strength, arms rise up. Exhale and fold. Halfway lift, deep breath. High to low push up. Strong legs as you descend, moving into your upward variation. Downward facing dog, raise your hips. Together, let's take a deep breath in and an emptying breath out. One more, really fortifying, refreshing breath in. And a breath out. Hop your feet through to your hands and come to your seat and then lay down onto your back. And once you lay down onto your back, draw your knees into your chest. And rock from side to side once again, nourishing the kidneys, those little battery packs of the body. And then make circles in each direction with your knees. Appreciating all the circulation that you've stirred up in the body, or the currency that you've stirred up in the body. Happy baby, reach for the inside of the feet. And aim to have the ankles stacked right over the knees. Here you can also map out the pelvis. Feel for the pubic bone moving up to north. Your tailbone moving forward and down to south. Your bum bones are on their own side to east and west. And then breathe into that beautiful space you're creating in the hips. That gorgeous currency you've stirred in your lower body may allow you to feel more grounded, more steady, more strong. 2 more breaths. Then hug your knees into your chest once more. Breathe in and breathe out. And then set up for your Shavasana. Do whatever you need to do on your mat to get comfortable and cozy. Scan your whole body and just allow it to melt into the ground beneath you. And as you soften here, may you be an example of steadiness and of love and of courage to all those around you. May you always remember that you are supported, cared for, and really that each time you come to your practice, you are reset and recharged, recentered. So thank you for that. We thank you for that. And we also thank you from all the people that love you within your life for coming to your practice today. Well done. And so you're welcome to stay in your Shavasana for 5 to 10 minutes. And we have so much more to offer, so much more to share with you. And we're super excited about this new context of offering that we have from here at the studio and to you, wherever you are. So thank you.